Hey guys, Dov here, and today I'm back with some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. I am back from vacation. Unfortunately, I did not have time to stream today, but I will be streaming probably today by the time you're watching this. I'm actually recording this on Thursday evening. You guys will probably, it's going to post on Thursday evening. Many of you will see it on Friday. If you are watching this on Friday, I'm going to be doing a live stream in the afternoon with King of the Hill, so be sure to tune in for that. For this battle here, we've got a viewer-submitted replay of Bretonnia against Lizardmen, so in for a tough battle right off the get-go. This is one of the tougher matchups for Bretonnia. No holes barred there. We've got Albrecht leading the way, front line of some mobs, second line of men-at-arms, plenty of knights, knights-errant scattered around with questing knights as well. We've also got some Pegasus knights and Hippogriff knights, one each up in the air here. Definitely looking for some heavy punching power on the Lizardmen's side. Looks like we've got a Life Mage, a Scarvet on a Carnosaur, and red crests here. We've got Saurus Warriors, Chameleon Skinks, Pox Cohort, along with some Feral Cold Ones, Temple Guard, and yeah, Skink Bro on foot, Solar Engine. Pretty basic build, all things considered. The peasants are going to mix things up right away, start inundating some of those infantry and tiring them out. Albrecht's going to take a little bit of fire here, but will quickly charge down and help support against those Saurus there. With Albrecht supporting, the peasant infantry will actually do okay, and a great charge here by these Knights Errant in lance formation to charge into the cohort of Sotek. Obviously, cohort of Sotek Unbreakable won't care too much. They do pop that Refuse to Die as well, but they already lost about 12 models there. Pretty good stuff. Meanwhile, you can see the flying forces not really wanting to engage too heavily here, as the Feral Cold Ones and the Temple Guard can trade very effectively into them, but a nice wave from Albrecht wrecks this unit of Saurus. Probably will overrun a little bit. Nope, doesn't quite catch the Knights there. And it looks like Albrecht also catches a regrowth also, as he is fighting with some men-at-arms with polearms. Actually didn't see them against the Saurus Old Blood. That's a nice use of that supporting infantry there. Unfortunately, these Knights Errant got a little bit wrecked by the Pox Cohort, but you can see they are providing an anvil. The peasants now filtering in as well. Got the questing knights charging in. Banishment popping off, routing some of those peasants. It does catch some of the Saurus as well, but here comes the rear charge. Great job utilizing those flying forces to go after, you know, what threatens them directly first. Pox Cohort obviously is the only Lizard Cavalry here, are the primary tool that can keep these units pinned on the ground. And likewise, the Saurus Scarvet, of course, is a huge risk. Albrecht's in here giving all these guys extra anti-large. You can see the Royal Hippogriff Knights with anti-large. Let's get in close, soak up some of the carnage, as Pox Cohort are in a pretty desperate situation here, surrounded by Bretonnia Knights with their great swords, Knights Errant, the young boys, and yeah, all the flyers as well. It's definitely a pretty nasty situation. The Feral Cold Ones come in. They actually get a pretty cost-effective rear charge, do a bit of damage to the Hippogriff Knights will be somewhat impervious, but the Pegasus Knights especially will take very cost-effective damage from that. But it looks like they're going to be able to pull away and re-engage back up at the air. Very well done. Things are looking okay for the Lizards, though. They've still got the Solar Engine here. Slan's very healthy, and have managed to win out the infantry engagements over on this side. The Knights Errant not quite chased off, but they have taken a lot of damage, as has this damsel here, momentarily getting caught by the Saurus Scarvet. That's a little bit rough there, having the caster take so much damage, but it does look like the Knights are going to be able to come bail out the damsel in distress there. Questing Knights now getting a bit of a surround, and Albrecht also charging in, getting a nice side charge there. The anti-large on Questing Knights is actually pretty good in this matchup specifically. Here come the Hippogriff Knights. They're going to charge down, try and utilize their charge bonus against the Stylodon. Honestly, they really don't do as much damage as I would like against monsters when charging in. They're much more effective against infantry, but the Bastillodon's not going to take too much damage here. Meanwhile, over on the side, these Pegasus Knights are getting routed off, unfortunately. They came in, tried to clean up those Chameleon Skinks, but just, you know, the Chameleon Skinks, the Feral Cold Ones, all of this supporting stuff, they fire from the Skink Chief as well, able to see them off. So definitely some nice back and forth. Lizardman player, although things looked a little rough initially, is starting to pull back, and the flying units kind of getting thrown in piecemeal here is definitely something you want to watch out for. I know the Bretonnian player asked me specifically for some feedback, so I would say keeping those Pegasus Knights and the Royal Hippogriff Knights together as much as possible, utilizing them kind of multi-charging both the same unit. Here you can see the Pegasus Knight and the Hippogriff Knight got caught in separate engagements, really unsupported, and those flying units especially, because they're so squishy in comparison, you always want to have them fighting with support whenever possible. Here's some nice healing. Earthblood, extended duration will heal those questing knights. Albrecht taking more fire from the solar engine, but also tanking the damage quite nicely. And a lot of peasants coming back from route. If we take an overarching look here, there's a lot of Bretonnian units that can come back and continue to soak damage. But here, a very nice engagement. Questing knights get a full surround. Albrecht charges down, and it looks like we have an Earthblood on the Scarvet, but he is getting hit hard here. Solar engine fire in response, and also this banishment as well, catching some of these men-at-arms. Very nicely done to force them to move. Unfortunately, the Scarvet did get routed off. He may come back, we'll see, but as it is, excuse me, the Pegasus Knights over there come back a little bit. We've got the Damsel Lore of Life back, as well as 2 Hippogriff Knights, so things are looking alright. Shield of the Old Ones here in the center on those Saurus as they try and grind it out. Really the best case scenario is for the Solar Engine and the Saurus to be able to just grind out the win here. Albrecht still being so healthy is nice. He comes down and catches the Old Blood directly out in the open here. And with his charge bonus active and with the Old Blood being so low, this is going to be pretty good for Albrecht. He does still take some damage here, but supporting Knights are able to get some hits. That Skink Chief, though, don't discount that Skink Chief providing consistent fire into Albrecht's side. Albrecht has 90 armor, which is a pretty good amount, but that Skink Chief will still do consistent damage over a long time. So we'll see. Albrecht may want to just drop down and try and take him out if he can. Meanwhile, the rest of the Knights just keeping this Lizard Infantry force busy. You can see the 2 Hippogriff Knights dove down. They're going to do a little bit of damage to the Slann and to the Bastillodon, but they're just so low on HP and stopping power that they'll struggle to really do anything meaningful, but at the very least they can keep these Temple Guard distracted and kind of caught up in this area, then allowing these other units to be isolated. And you can see, yeah, this Skink Chief here getting dealt with perhaps by Knights Errant, we'll see. Albrecht just about at his healing cap, very nicely done, and that Scarvet is going to get chased off by the Questing Knight, which is obviously very important. Meanwhile, Slann's still standing firm, and the Solar Engine, let's see what it uses its shot against. I would imagine he probably wants to save the Solar Engine shots to shoot at either Knights or Albrecht, I think, would be the #1 thing you'd want to shoot at. But an Earthblood here, heal up some of those Temple Guard. They've still got 62 models, which is going to be a lot for the Bretonnians to have to deal with. Temple Guard's very, very tough unit in this matchup. Those 2 Hippogriffs, though, again, getting a charge in here, getting a few little swipes on this Bastillodon. Anything helps. Men-at-Arms also coming in now, so you can see the Bretonnians kind of forming up for a bit of a final engagement here. Peasants blobbing in, continuing to disrupt the Lizards, not really allow them to get a clean engagement. And as the Bastillodon's now separated from all the Saurus infantry here, Albrecht's going to do exactly what he should and drop down on the isolated unit, get a nice charge here, utilize the anti-large bonus, and do some really nice hits on the Bastillodon here. Shield of the Old Ones, a little bit misplaced. I don't think it's actually affecting. It's hard to see because of that weird thing. No, not actually affecting the Solar Engine, unfortunately. That being said, Albrecht doesn't want to be stuck between the Slann and the Solar Engine, so he's going to go ahead and disengage very wisely there. Knights Errant come in with that charge bonus and their anti-large bonus active from Albrecht. Actually can do some pretty good damage along with the Questing Knights. Nice use of the Shield of Thorns there to give all these units extra weapon damage and physical resistance. Heroic killing blow on Albrecht himself as well. And here comes the final wave on these Temple Guard as they start to move in here. Do a lot of damage to them and disrupt their formation, force them to move momentarily so that Albrecht and the Damsel can disengage here. The Men-at-Arms also disengaging. They can probably stand and fight, but yeah. At this point, things are looking pretty good. We've got more Knights Errant coming back over here. These Questing Knights also, 40 models still, having chased off the Carnosaur, momentarily forgotten, are going to be very important for helping to finish off these Temple Guard. Nice terror route so that the peasant mobs can chase those Saurus warriors, very effective there. So we'll fast forward a little bit through this late game as there's a bit of cat and mouse. Albrecht's going to go ahead and chase off the Bastillodon, which is a very wise play, obviously. And you can see the Forgotten Questing Knights now being brought back around to help deal with Temple Guard. Just one good open charge by those Questing Knights on these Temple Guard should be able to deal with them. You can see the Knights Errant going for a quick hit and run charge there just to keep the infantry disrupted. Got more Bretonnians out on the open field. And yeah, things are looking pretty decent despite what the balance power may say. Very close at this point, but again, one good charge, just break the Temple Guard, and then Albrecht can come in and break the Slann, perhaps get a quick tear route away. How about this Damsel chasing off the Solar Engine here? Yes, skink speak, whatever. And We'll continue to fast forward. These guys are going to form up, and here it comes, Lance formation. Full charge. There is Shield of the Old One's active, so that'll mitigate quite a bit of the damage, but likewise Shield of Thorns on the other side. Alberic drops down, gives that extra anti-large, that extra, what is it? I think it's just anti-large, right? Anyway, you can see the Skinks quickly get terrified. Unfortunately, the Temple Guards do hold their leadership, so Bretonnian player here very wisely going to pull around for another cycle charge, leaving the Knights Errant momentarily to hold the line. Here come the Questing Knights for another charge. Without the Shield of the Old Ones, this should be much, much more impactful. You can see the Temple Guard taking a lot of damage there. Questing Knights again pulling out. Coming back around, here comes Alberic as well. And that Slon, though, with his magic, just absolutely brutal. And Alberic actually catches a few of the Temple Guard out in the open. I don't know if this technically counts as a side or rear charge then, but regardless, with the Terror now active, should see the Saurus and Temple Guard get terrified here. And still holding their leadership for the time being, very impressively, all things considered. The Bastiladon finally gets chased off by the Damsel there. And all of a sudden, immediately, both of these infantry get terrified by the Questing Knights. Here comes Alberic, charging the Slon in the back. Slon takes a couple of big hits from Alberic. Oh yeah, swinging the Trident. There we go. That should be game. So very well done. A really, really close battle, and big thanks to Use for sending that one in. Super fun one, absolutely down to the wire. And other than a few missed micros with the Flyers, I would say the pretty decent execution overall as well. Great job, especially with Knights Errant, 122 kills, 2 XP chevrons, 86 and 39 for the Questing Knights. Having them supporting Alberic always against those monsters is exactly what you want here, and some beautiful synergies we saw able to deal with the Saurus Scar Vet there. Likewise, Hippogriff Knights, 73 kills and an XP Chevron, they did pretty good. The Pegasus Knights, it got some okay engagements initially, but they are very, very squishy, so you got to be careful how you use them. But as it is, you know, Men-at-Arms with 51 kills, not too bad at all. Saurus, 160, wow, 69 there, that's pretty nice. 106 for the Temple Guards, pretty good stuff. Solar Engine did all right. 108 kills on Skinks also, wow, that's pretty impressive. 88 for the Slon there. Solar Engines I am a big fan of in this matchup. I'm not sure. I mean, shooting Alberic the whole time, I get what he was going for there. It didn't have a lot of single entity stopping power, really, besides the Scar Vet, but I almost wonder if you just use the Solar Engine against the Knights, because it will actually kill the unit models of the Knights, you can reduce that unit stopping power, like especially the Questing Knights, to then allow the Saurus Scar Vet to operate a little bit more freely. I don't know, just kind of some food for thought there, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.